Now I'm worried, very worried, although I'm not quite sure what I'm worried about. In order to fully prepare myself for auditing, I need to find a guide and a mentor. It was with some anxiety that I travelled to St Hill. Just outside of East Grinstead, it's the spiritual home of L. Ron Hubbard and the church's base in the UK. I'm here to meet Dominic, the church's highest-ranking defector in over a decade. How do you feel when you look at a place you used to call home?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. It's
you can't go there anymore, can you?
Yeah, I understand. It's not... Hey, c'est la vie, man. That's life.
Fearful of how the church will react to his participation, Dominic insisted on meeting away from his home.
They're great people, and they really believe in what they're doing. But it's very, you know, there's people that decide over your fate. And if you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, then you're in real deep trouble.
Since leaving the church, Dom has joined a European network of free zoners who live by and practice Scientology.
A group of the people that left formed a thing called the Ronsorg, because L. Ron Hubbard, by his friends known as Ron, so they started the Ronsorg. Ronsorg says we only apply the technology of L. Ron Hubbard. You have Ronsorg, Church of Scientology, and then you have the free zone as a broad thing.
So Ronsorg isn't one organisation, it's lots of little organisations?
Yeah, lots of them.
Is it hundreds of thousands, millions?
No, it's not that big at all. 10, 15, 20 staff that basically form an organisation.
The organisation is growing in Europe, but thrives in places like Russia, which are beyond the reach of the church's lawyers.
We're going to be travelling around, and you'll get a good idea.
Dominic has bravely agreed to be my guide and mentor. What would you suggest I do next?
You want to find out what Scientology is all about. You should read a book, take a course. Good beginning course would be like HQS, which stands for Hubbard Qualified Scientologist course. Do one of those. Read the Dianetics book. Read like Fundamentals of Thought or something like that.
Tell me about the bridge.
All right. Well, if you put it like this, yeah, if you say you want to get to a higher state of existence, and you consider where you're right now is at a lower state of existence, and you want to get to a higher state of existence, well, you've got to get there somehow. And the concept is that if you don't go the right way, you'll end up in one hell of a chasm. So what you do is you walk a bridge. And Ron's writings tell you the way to go.
The bridge is the most important concept in the teachings of L. Ron Hubbard and is actually two parallel bridges. Taking part in one side helps you examine your subconscious. The other helps you with your waking life. The subconscious side is crossed by taking part in auditing. The practical side of the bridge is a series of qualifications aimed at making a person a better communicator. I've been rejected by the church, discovered the free zone, and found a mentor who's willing to guide me through basic training. Now, if I pass, he says he'll audit me. The training is in Moscow, and I'll travel through 4 countries, unearthing the free zone movement and studying along the way. You've got to bear in mind, I'm reading and learning about Scientology as I go along. I didn't study it all before we started this journey, and here's what I'm discovering. 2 very interesting things. Scientology has no great mystery, no great questions of faith, no reliance on you to simply believe. It seeks to prove everything it says. And also, people are very critical of it because it seems to be written in a very simple form. And I was critical of it too for being so kind of, you know, a bit like kind of, you know, philosophy, psychology for the stupid. But actually, if you think about it, it's incredibly inclusive. It ties in absolutely with that notion of there being no mysteries and no secrets. It's for people, any people, to pick up. Max, hi. Nice to meet you. I'm here to meet Max, head of the Swiss cell of Ron's org. Max runs the training camp in Moscow. I want to sign up for one of the courses, but first I need to be vetted, not only by Max, but also by his students and family.
Try to make a difference between the church and Scientology. Take these things apart. Like Catholicism doesn't necessarily mean the same thing like Christianity. Right?
Are you happy not to be in the church anymore? Do you miss the church?
In the beginning, I was thinking it's a philosophy. Sometimes I was really thinking it's some kind of psychology. I had a hard time to understand why is this called a religion.
Also for me, it's philosophy, and sure, this spiritual factor, you know, this thing that you can improve yourself with it.
You find answers. You find answers we have in life.
We find knowingness, and then we don't need to believe.
You can use it because there is a wisdom and it's a truth in it. You cannot control people without truth or without making them believe it is the truth.
I don't have to go and pray, I don't have to not eat this or eat that, I don't have to cut my hair or not cut my hair, I don't have to do anything different in my life at all, apart from the fact I have someone come to my house or come here and I do audition. That's the only and my life is getting better and better and better by the week every time I do it.
Yeah, I'm struggling to understand your Swiss accent. Do you believe in God?
Not in the sense that there is a power outside me, a higher power outside me. No, I don't believe.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, but I have a special definition. I was always asking who is God, what is God, and when I started in Scientology, I found a definition in an old big dictionary. It means a spiritual being, an extraterrestrial spiritual being. And I said, yeah, that is okay for me.
The absence of any consensus about God was refreshing, but what I really wanted to know about was auditing.
As you hold the cans, an electrical current is passing through you. It's really, really, really light. You don't even feel it. When you get a question or a command, if there's a stress, the electricity has a resistance and it can't pass through your body as easily, and so it shows up on the auditor's meter.
I'm none the wiser about auditing, but Max has agreed to host me and the cameras at his camp in Moscow. I've now got 2 days and 800 miles to get myself up to speed.